Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the West Coast Daily Dial. We're going to get started here in a second. Get your hands up if you have any questions. We are going to do hot seats and role plays and whatever you need. Before I get into this, I kind of want to just recap. And Jeff Smith's on here. Let me just see this. Creighton said that he's getting invalid ID. Let's do this. Does anybody else have trouble getting in here? Boom. Try that one. Maybe I need to get a different link in Discord. Is that not working for everybody? Showing up for, okay, let's see. Anyways, yesterday I had Matthew, and let's just make sure Creighton gets in here. I had Matthew Potter on my podcast, and I have some of you on the East Coast. There he is. Hi, Creighton. Knew this. We were just talking about how everything's changing. Just since Creighton's on here, I'm going to say this so everybody can hear. Matthew Potter is a short sale king. Okay, so he has done over 18,000 short sales since 2008. Okay, he typically averages between 4 to 5 short sales a week. That's on average. He is now doing 4 to 5 short sales a day. Yeah, so things are changing. Things are ramping up. I've been consistent telling you guys to hit those pre-foreclosure leads. Guys, things are rocking. So what's up, Alex? Man, I love seeing all these people on here. Let's get after it. Today is the day with Creighton. He is my life coach. Creighton, I was just talking to Ingrid about this. She's like, I really need to just get a coach just to sit down and situated on things. Guys, having a coach and just having clarity on what you want to do and what you want to achieve is going to change the game for you. So guys, you can role play in here. You can ask questions. Just be to the point so we can all get better with it. Creighton, good morning. How is the weather in Seattle?
It is 45 and I think rain is coming.
So like 45 as well. It's cold everywhere.
Oh yeah. That's not cold for us. That's like, oh yeah, that's pretty nice.
That's me being like, oh, I'm freezing.
Oh yeah. So, but the last couple of days was sunny. So that's awesome.
Well, great. Dude, we even have East Coast people in here. What's up, Yachty? Oh, Yachty, this is an interesting story. So I met him when I went to Tampa, got to meet him in person. He got a seller to seller finance their home to him, no money down. And then he got a seller to give him $140,000. That exact same seller, give him $140,000 cash to fix the house up. I was like, what the heck? I love seeing all these action takers in here. But I'm going to hand the reins over to you, Creighton, because I like letting you take the wheel. So The floor is yours. Take it away.
Awesome. All right. I don't know. Let's assume Caroline didn't introduce me. Hey, my name's Creighton. I've been in sub 2 since it started. I think there's 12 of us when we started. It was like 3 years ago, maybe something insane like that. I am mainly buy and hold now. I've done a bunch of fix and flips, wholesaled, and now I basically have properties in 3 different states. I'm trying to buy some more multifamily. So if you guys come across anything I like stuff that's like 20 to 40 units. If you have something like that, let me know, especially seller finance. See if we can make something work on that. Let me know. See how I can help you out. But yeah, I used to be an engineer for about 13 years. I quit that to pursue what I do now, which is mainly coaching, life coaching, high performance coaching. And then I also just keep doing my rental portfolio stuff on the side. So anything I can do to help, definitely let me know, and raise your hand whether you want to do role play, or we can talk about mindset stuff, whatever you're running into, like habits or consistency is usually what it does. Yeah, DJ. Tacoma? Yeah, I do. It depends. Everything comes down to cash flow, DJ. Obviously, here in Washington, my properties are east side of the state because the cash flow is so much better and I can't not make cash flow. But if you have something that cash flows, yeah, definitely let me know. Okay, let's jump right into it. I got, is it TJ?
Yeah, TJ, correct.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm been in sub 2 about a month and a half, almost 2 months now, I guess. And this is my first time I want to do some role playing.
let's roll it out. Let's roll some dice. So wait, so how long have you been in sub 2?
February 6th was my first day.
Oh, okay. Awesome. How's it going so far?
It's going good. I had a really good phone call or deal under that I felt like I verbally closed. It was like a $1.4 million vacation lake house near me, but the seller was then faced with having to move, and I don't think he was ready for that emotionally. And so now he's thinking about leasing it, and so feeling a little let down about that. But I'm hoping to maintain the relationship, and maybe he'll be ready to sell and move out later. But I had a really good structure, and then another sub 2 introduced me to a money partner. I was like, why don't we just buy this $1.4 million cash? And I was like, okay, let's do that.
Oh, wow. And so are you going back
then
for
it went
that?
there. I even offered him cash, and he's just not. He's like, I think I'm gonna lease it, and I was like, lease it to me, and he just ghosted me. So I've been trying to get. I think I'm gonna go to Manif's office hours on Tuesday and see if he can call him for me, and see if we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let's get a role play. Let's go. I guess since I have you,
Pick Lance.
I was gonna literally would just move my cursor there.
Lance. I want Lance to go. Yeah.
How you doing?
Dude, I can't have Lance on here because whenever Lance, I just get so distracted. I feel like listening to Lance's voice, I just like melt in my chair. It's just so soothing and so nice. Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
It's all right. Of course, it's all right. Everything's amazing today.
I see what you're saying. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Don't worry about it, girl. I got you. All right. All right, Lance. Can you be what kind of seller do you want him to be, TJ? Is it TJ? Is that what you want to be called, or?
Yeah, it's TJ, and my whole life it was an uppercase J, and then like I was 19 and decided that I'm the one who gets to decide if that J is lowercase or uppercase, and I decided to make it a lowercase J.
That's funny because mine name's Creighton, but my middle initials Joseph, so I was CJ, but both were uppercase. I never even thought about, well, let me make this one smaller. My whole life was about being bigger.
My J stands for junior, so I didn't think it was a full capitalization case when the rest of my name is cool enough.
Gotcha. Love it. Okay, so what do you want Lance to be?
I've been doing direct to seller, but I've been watching a lot of the direct to agent series lately because I like the idea of. So I'm okay with either. I just like talking to people.
I understand that, but like I want to help you out. What?
Direct to seller. Let's go with that.
Cool. Love it. Okay. Lance, direct to seller. What list or anything specific? Type of landlord or?
I like the expired or listed on the MLS or for sale by owner or I guess.
Which one do you think that you are struggling with or that you want to get better at?
The expire, or I guess that's I've been doing for sale by owner expiring listings, but I haven't been very good at lead gen, so I guess I need some coaching at where I need to.
What do you mean by lead gen? I'm not very good at lead gen.
When I am looking at people in my market, getting my reps in, I'm really just looking at for sale by owner phone numbers and Facebook marketplace phone numbers and just calling them and starting up conversations that way.
Okay, so what's the problem then? You just said that I have an issue with lead gen. Oh, you mean like getting more people to call? Is that what you're talking about by lead gen, or
yeah,
converting them from a prospect to lead? That's why I'm a little confused.
Practice of doing leads and therefore getting more calls under my belt. And so one thing I took action on yesterday was contacting somebody in the group and trying to get on their team to get more, real life practice for somebody else.
Awesome. How's that going? Are you able to do it? Wait, where are you at? What's DTS?
Direct to seller.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. What?
I'm in Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Where in Alabama?
I live in Birmingham, Alabama, but most of our properties are in.
No one's in
Auburn,
Mobile.
Alabama.
No, anyone in Mobile? Let me know.
I love Mobile.
Okay, go down there. Move down there. I got some properties there that I need help on. It's so nice, right next to Orange Beach, all that. I've never been to Birmingham though, but when I bought properties down there, I was like, well, I like Orange Beach, so let me check that out.
Birmingham's a hidden gem.
Yeah, I guess so. It'll have to stay hidden for me for a while. Okay. Anyway, sorry. All right. So Lance, I guess he'd just be any person that you've been posting your property on Craigslist or, and look, I don't know if you saw on the side, TJ, that Ryan says he has leads to practice on.
Oh, awesome.
Ask and you shall receive. Crazy concept. Okay. Go ahead and call Lance. Lance, I'm not even prepared because Go ahead. Just watch out. He'll try to get you in a trance. That's why they call him Lance.
Oh,
Ring,
man.
ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, my name's TJ. What's your name?
Lance.
Hey, Lance. I found your listing on Facebook and saw that you're trying to sell it. Just trying to figure out
Hold up.
if this is a good fit for us.
So you're doing really good. You did a lot of like dot. I don't know if you noticed that at the beginning. Hey, this. Like it wasn't very fluid.
Mhm.
Right? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yes.
You can say no. It's okay. You're not going to be in trouble.
No, I understand what you're saying because it's feedback I get a lot with the way I talk. And I think it's the way I talk is stream of conscious the way I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's difficult for me without the reps to slow that down and be smoother with it because
Okay.
I'm thinking and talking at the same time.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I think we all do that. So let me ask, like, when you're starting the conversation, like, what's going on in your mind? Like, go through your thinking process. Like, I got to get
When
his
I'm calling
name. I
them,
got to get this.
yeah,
Because
I'm
it
trying to
sounds like a
remember
checklist.
Yep, exactly what it is. I'm trying to remember to hit all the boxes and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And really, trying to not to seem like I know what I'm saying, but that speeds me up a lot of times.
So, and it's so funny, and I know you'll hear this, but it probably won't make sense, and some other people might be the same, but your real job is not really to go through these check boxes, it's to have a conversation. And like the best way to have a conversation is just kind of a fluid, natural sort of sounding conversation. But with that being said, when I started, I did the checkbox thing too. But at some point, you'll finally get past that into like you have enough experience, you kind of know, and you realize if you forgot something, you just call them back up. It's not the end of the world. But in our mind, we're setting this thing of like, I have to get all these pillars, I have to do all this. But like you can get all of those, but if you don't have a fluid, like good conversation, like none of that stuff matters. Does that make sense?
It does.
Because like I could call up Lance, like, hey Lance, this is Creighton. What's the property? Is it yours? Are you interested in selling? What's the condition? What's your price? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. I got it.
So what's a better way to open, or like some options to open?
No, so let's say that we're having a conversation. Call me up, like as a friend. What would you say to your friend?
Creighton. Hey Creighton, how's it doing? How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm really enjoying this nice weather. We're finally getting into spring, and the cold spell is breaking up here in Alabama. Where are you at?
I'm
I guess
up
you're my
in
friend.
Seattle.
Okay, so warm is relative, I guess.
Exactly.
How's the weather up there?
It's like 47. But so now try calling Lance again.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Dude, good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. My name's TJ. I'm calling because I saw your listing on Facebook for 123 Main Street.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Cool. I just wanted to get some more information. I'm interested in purchasing
So
it.
what about if you put that together? Hey, I saw your ad on Facebook and I was just calling to get a little more information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Hey,
Rather than
yeah.
you said, hey, I saw your ad on Facebook, weird, awkward pause. Like, cool. but why not go straight into what it is? Yeah, so I was calling to get some more information, and his response, okay, what kind of information? So now you can kind of get all that. Okay.
Okay.
But
Hey, I saw your listing on Facebook, and I was calling to get some more information. From the pictures, it looks like it's in great condition, and I'm wondering why it hasn't sold yet.
Oh yeah, man. The property is in excellent condition. I'm not too sure why it hasn't sold yet. We've had some offers, but nothing to where I'm looking to try to get for it. So I'm just sort of holding out for the right amount of money right now.
Oh, nice. I definitely understand that. What is the right amount of money for you? Like, what amount would really make you happy?
The asking price would make me happy.
I'm sorry, I don't have the listing pulled up right in front of me. What was your asking price?
Oh yeah, man. It's 375.
375. Okay, that seems reasonable. Where are you coming up with that number? I'm not really too familiar with the area. We're just getting into your neighborhood, and so I'd love to rely on how you got to that number.
you're justifying a little too much on that. Like I
Okay.
would, so as soon as he says 375, I'm like, oh, okay. And I wouldn't say that sounds reasonable, because if you
Okay.
say that, then whenever you start to debate it, he's gonna be like, well, you just said it was reasonable. Now you're a liar. Now I can't trust you. Does that make sense?
hmm
So
So
when he
don't.
says, oh, 375, oh, okay. And I'm curious, Lance, like where did that number, where did you come up with that number? Oh, well, whatever. Go ahead.
Awesome. 375. I'm curious, Lance, how did you come up with that number?
Oh man, yeah. So my neighbor behind me just sold their house for about 345. And then I had a neighbor that sold his house again, like maybe about 3 months ago for like 325. And my house was a lot bigger and nicer than his. So I'm just sort of, right there. I think 375 is a really good number.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna
What offers
pause
have you?
you. No, you're gonna be fine. So I'm only gonna pause you because I want to see where you want to go from this. So now you have the price, and he gave you, oh, my neighbor sold theirs for 340. And so where do you want to take the conversation?
My idea was to, ask them when you said just sold it. I'm gonna say, is that last week? Is that 3 months ago?
So you find
Um,
out it was yesterday.
yeah.
Now what? Or is a year ago.
Uh,
Now what?
so if it's a year ago, I was like, oh man, the market then was completely different than the market now.
Okay.
Do you think that has to do with the reason the offers aren't coming in where you think they should?
And then he says, yes, no, maybe. I mean, those are really kind of his options.
Yeah.
So let's
So
say, okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. Now what?
um, well, I guess now, well, if they're not, if I'm able to come up to your price, would you be open to
Yeah,
terms?
no. See, I wanted you to
That's too
get
early.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the hell he wants, right?
Yeah.
So you want me to jump in, or you want me to keep coaching you? What's more beneficial for you? Because I mean, it's for you. Like I know how to
I
talk to
like
people.
you see you jump in and then kind of me modeling that.
Okay, so yeah, let me jump in for a second. Okay, so Lance, I'm really curious. You're saying 375? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, 375.
Okay, and just curious, like, how did you come up with that number?
Oh yeah. Well, my neighbor behind me sold his place like a while back ago for, 325. And then I just had a neighbor sell his place a month ago for like 350. So I figured my house was a lot nicer than his. So I just thought 375 would be a great number.
Okay, and how long have you been waiting to sell it? How long have you been waiting on that number?
I've had it on for about, I don't know, 30 days, a month.
So like the reason I'm starting, like I'm not going to tell him anything. I want him to start like questioning. Does that make sense?
Mhm,
Like I want him to like,
mhm.
oh, how long's it? Oh, it's been actually for a little bit. Okay. And your neighbor, when they listed theirs, do you know how long theirs was sitting on market before it sold?
It didn't seem too long.
Okay. Any thoughts on that? Like that they listed it and were able to sell it quickly?
No, I just thought it was great for them. And then it sort of gave me an example of what I might be able to do.
Gotcha. Yeah. And usually, I mean, if someone has it at a price that makes sense, then obviously people are willing to buy it. Like if I had a Ferrari sitting outside and I had it listed for $100, do you think that that would sell quickly or slowly?
No, that's so hella fast.
Exactly, because the price makes sense for the property. So if I had it listed for, 4 million, how long do you think it would sit there?
Oh, I think it'd be sitting there for a while because somebody would have to want to pay 4 million for it.
Exactly. And I feel like, do you think that that might be happening with your 375, that, it might be sitting because that might be a little bit overpriced? And pause. I'm only doing this because I want him to think. I'm not telling him anything. I'm just letting him come to it. And then I'm going to pivot to something else anyway. So go ahead.
It
Um,
might, oh, me or him?
No, I was saying you, Lance. Go
Oh,
ahead,
yeah,
Joe.
yeah. It might, but I think I just need the right buyer for the house.
Awesome. And if I was the right buyer, what would happen next? So, sorry, it just feels so much easier to do it this way. So, do you see, like now, because he gave me an opening, like now I want to figure out what's his ideal selling. Now I want to get into what his actual solution that he's trying to achieve. Does that make sense?
It
Because
does.
realistically, it's never, 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 never the price. And that's why I wanted to do all those questions to you, because I knew you were going to get to the price.
Mhm.
And the price is irrelevant. Actually, let me ask you this. So, what's your role that you're looking to do currently with calling people?
And I want to eventually buy and hold, but I want to find motivated sellers and wholesale them.
Gotcha.
To
But what do you want
subsidy.
your role to be? Like, what are you doing in the next week or two? Like, is your job reaching out and do the initial call? Are you the person that's closing? Are you the person that's dispoing? Like, what is it that what skill set are you at?
Um, I've been cold calling, and in my next week is flipping or getting this Airbnb ready. And I'm doing the sub two outside of
Okay.
that.
Perfect. And the only reason I'm asking is because, like, depending on where you're at, like that's going to dictate what you should be getting. So if you're just doing the initial cold call, like you probably don't have to get the person, you don't have to close the deal. Does that make sense? But if you were calling for me, I'd say, hey, TJ, I need you to call, do the same thing that we're doing. Like, yeah, I want you to poke around with the price a little bit, but I really want you to figure out, like, why do they actually need to sell? Because I always say this, that there's two ways people sell. They're either price motivated or pain motivated. So if I'm talking to someone, like, let's say that I was having this conversation with Lance, hey, just curious, how much is it that you want for the house? Oh, it kind of needs a lot of work, whatever, that I'm ready to sell it for 180. And let's say the ARV is 300. But like, I don't need to go through the whole song and dance to figure out what's his motivation, what's all this. Like, he's price motivated. Does that make sense? And most of the people that we run into, that doesn't happen unless they've been around the bush and they're really ready to sell. But usually what happens is they'll come up with some stupid ass price, like 375, 400, 500. So they're not price motivated. So now I got to figure out, is there pain motivation here? So that's why I always figure out, like, what's going on? What happens if you don't sell? What's your ideal selling solution? And then that's what I would want you to bring me. So after you get off the phone call, you're able to say, hey, I talked to Lance. He's not price motivated because he wants 375. However, he's trying to do X and he wants to do this, this, and this. Does that make sense, what I'm saying at all?
It does. The way I'm understanding is like, in the community, everybody's like, okay, this is our buy box. This is what I want to buy it. And really, I'm trying to figure out the sell box for the seller. Like, what's your timeline? Like,
yeah,
the
that's
price,
fine.
The terms.
Yeah. So if you do that, and you can, but you're going to get such, like, just rigid responses. Like, he's going to say 375. And then you're going to say, okay, well, what if I gave you, do you want to go through all that? Do you want to do that with Lance? Like, go get your sell box.
Oh yeah, we can give it a shot. Where should we pick up?
So you can take off where I stopped at. He wants 375, and then I don't remember what I asked, but essentially something along the line. Do you remember, Lance? What was the last thing I said?
You said the last thing you said, well, if I can, like, if I'm the right buyer, what is
Oh,
something
right.
like
Because
that?
he said he's looking for the right buyer
Buyer.
and say, okay, well, if I was the right buyer, what happens next?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Take it away, boys.
So if I were the right buyer, what would happen next?
We'd get the deal done. You're the right buyer. We're gonna get the paperwork signed.
Okay. So what is that closing in a week? Is that closing in a month? Is there,
Man,
you
I'm
have a
ready to
place to
close in
go?
3 days.
Okay. I just want to make sure you have somewhere to go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How long, are you already moved? Is the house vacant? It sounds like you're ready to go.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You let him answer. And I
Okay.
know that when we're scared, whatever we want to feel like, oh, is it this? Is it that?
Mhm.
But as soon as he says 3 days, like what I would say, oh, okay, what happens next? And then he's like, oh, we'll move or whatever. And then be like, oh, okay, where are you going to move to? Because that's what I want to figure out. Like, because really, the house is just a transaction. I get rid of the house and I get something in return. So you got to figure out what it is he's trying to trade his house for. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
The house is a
Okay.
currency. Let's get rid of the house. By getting rid of the house, I now get this thing. And we need to figure out what that thing is, because that's literally what we're going to sell them. We're going to sell them the thing that they actually want.
Okay. All right. So say we close in 3 days, then where are you going to move, Lance?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Then
to
what are you
North.
going to do, Lance?
I'm gonna go to North Carolina.
Awesome. I love North Carolina. What part?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind, but I just know North Carolina is in my future, man. So that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick a city. I'm gonna rent for a little bit.
Okay. So you're going to pick a city. We close in 3 days, and you're going to get in your car and drive to North Carolina with all your stuff and
You
figure it
know
out
it.
from there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so what did you just kind of figure out here? I mean, we're kind of surface level, but you still got a decent thing. What do you think you just acquired?
So he is ready to move immediately. He's okay with not having a place to go when he's there. So maybe that leaves the opportunity to partner with somebody from sub two in that area,
Sure.
either
Or just
on
so
a
what
rental
I
basis. Yeah.
yes, I think you're getting is like timeline, like his time frame.
Mhm.
Like he's literally ready to move now. So we
Mhm.
know time isn't an issue, right?
Mhm.
We got the checkbox of like, oh yeah, he's time motivated. He's ready to go. Okay. So where do you want to go from there?
I guess where I'm curious now is if he's ready to move, is he only ready to move at that price?
Okay.
Or
That's a good one. Or I would want to find out. I mean, to me, if he wants to move now, and I don't think that his price is going to let him move instantly. Does that make sense? So
yes.
I would want to know which one's more important. I love doing if statements or like
Mhm.
which is a priority.
Yeah,
That
I'm a mechanical engineer too, and I
Oh
taught
shoot. Okay, dang.
I taught robotics and
Yeah.
engineering
Should have
in middle
known.
school.
Should have
So
known what I was talking to. No wonder why
yeah,
you were thinking. That was me. I
yep.
was in mechanical and aerospace for 13 years.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, robotics.
yeah. So yours is even worse than mine. Because yours
Okay.
is all logic. If this, then that, and loops and whatnot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, find out what's his priorities. Like you have to figure out which thing's more important.
Okay. All right, Lance. I see you're ready to move. Which is more important to you? Moving in 3 days or getting that price you need?
Oh, dude, definitely getting the price.
Okay, so you're willing to wait a while until the market smooths out to get that price?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this home is paid for. I don't owe any money on the home, and so I'm just sort of waiting to get my price so I can take my money and go.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you've seen the market lately, but the interest rates are going up. What if that timeline is 5 years from now? Does that work for you?
Dude, yeah, I'm okay with waiting. Like, I'm okay with waiting. Like I said, I don't have any desire to, like jump the ship. If I get the price, great, I'm ready to move. If I don't, I'll just stay here until I can get the price.
Okay.
Where's your brain at right now, TJ? Like like you should have some errors popping up in your brain.
Where I'm wanting to go is to jump into what if I can give you your price.
Then he'll say, yeah, I'll take it. But then you're going to
But
say, But why give him? Like, why, like, use that beautiful engineering brain? Like he said he wanted to move as soon as possible, but then you ask what's more important, and now the price is a priority. But like why? Does that make sense? Like, what does he need? What is the 375 gonna do for him? Does that make sense? Like, that's where I would want to go of like, okay, I figured these things out, but like, what is it about the 375 that's so special? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So is
once
that
I
what you're
have that
saying?
information, then I can start to like poke holes in that story or figure out how, like, literally, like, how to solve that issue. Because again, we got to think the same as the house and the same as the price. Like, these are just currencies. These are just things that they're going to trade to do something else. Like, I go into, the store, and if I want to buy a donut, I give him $2 and I get a donut. So the same thing. He gets 375. What does 375 do? Does that make sense?
Mhm. I feel so.
Go ahead.
Just in my head,
hit
I
it
feel
out.
like he wants to. So I'm just, when I ask that question, I'm like, what are you gonna do with that 375? I feel like it's almost asking the same question because he said, I want to get up and move to North Carolina and rent,
And
but
what's
that
your
doesn't
fear?
cost 375.
Yeah. So that's, keep going. Because they'll do this. Like, I'll ask stuff like, what happens next? And Lance did perfect of like, then I move, idiot. And then you're like, oh, okay, but where are you going to move to? So you're going to get that a lot. What's so important about three? I need that money. So don't be afraid to keep going deeper and deeper. Does that make sense?
So it says I need that money. So you're gonna spend 375 to rent next year,
Yeah,
or you want to
I
keep it at the
love
bank?
like
And
mislabeling, and like I always liked. I mean, I like to tease of like, oh, you can invest that in crypto or something.
okay,
Just to break
you're gonna
stuff,
hold it in
right?
a bank account and let inflation eat at it or something.
Yeah, I like to do something silly because the
Okay.
brain is just programmed. I mean, obviously, being an engineer, like, we have to be right. We want that certainty.
Yeah.
So I love doing mislabels of like, yeah, exactly. It is a vegan donut in Seattle would be, that'd be like $7. So mislabel of like, that's why I love doing the crypto. Oh, so you're going to get the 375, then you're going to go put it in crypto. Their brain says, no, that's not right. And they have to correct. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do X, Y, Z.
Okay, so
Makes sense.
I could do like baseball cards, Pokemon cards, like anything silly like that, just like get them completely different.
But yeah, because my goal anytime, I mean, that's me. Anytime I talk, like I know that I'm breaking them down and becoming their friend if I can get them to laugh.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Find out what's going on. Why the F the 375? Who cares?
All right. So last thing he said was, I'm willing to wait indefinitely.
Yeah.
So all right. Okay, Lance. So if you get that 375 tomorrow, what are you gonna do? Go invest in $375,000 worth of Pokemon cards?
No, man, no. I'm gonna use that to buy another house.
Okay, but did you okay, pause. So at this point,
that was perfect.
My impulse to say, didn't you say earlier you wanted to rent for a year?
Dude, when in doubt, check it out.
Okay.
So 100%, he's not being consistent.
Okay, just making sure, because earlier you had told me that you wanted to rent for a year. So now I'm hearing you wanted to buy and when you move to North Carolina.
So when you make these statements, you have to be careful not to be condescending or to make them feel stupid. So what I love to do is like, oh my gosh, I'm confused. I'm so sorry. I thought that you said blah, but now you're saying this. Does that make sense? So try that.
Okay. I'm sorry, Lance. I thought I heard earlier that you said you wanted to rent when you got there. And are you telling me you want to buy now? And I got that wrong earlier.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, man. You heard me correctly. I want to rent, but I also want to buy. So I'm gonna rent to sort of check out the areas that I want to live in, and then when I find the exact city I want to live in, I'm gonna buy a house. Do you understand that?
I do understand. Sorry. So while you're checking out the different cities, you're just gonna let that money sit in the bank?
Yeah.
What did you want him to say with that?
No, I don't.
I think in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm going to ask him another question. And then he answers, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot, why did I even ask that one?
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I froze and filled the
That's okay.
silence with a question that didn't make
Yeah.
sense. Or
Yeah. That's okay. And you got the answer because
Yeah.
logically that makes sense. I'm gonna go buy a house next. So yeah, I need the cash to be sitting. So where do you want
Yeah.
to go? What is your what are
How
you
how would
getting
I
from
open
this?
up? I guess how would I open it up or continue to break them down? I don't know how to continue from here. Because my impulse is to keep asking yes no questions, and
Right.
that's what I keep doing.
Which works. And like, I mean, again, if you're just doing the initial call, so let's say that you're doing it your way, what would you do with this? He wants 375. He wants to move to another house. Like, what would be what you want to acquire from this?
Mm. My instinct is to try to again to pitch the
Okay.
full amount, but
Go ahead.
create or seller finance in this.
Go ahead, ask him.
Okay. All right, Lance. Well, if you're going to be moving down and checking out different cities, would you be open to a situation where I gave you a down payment and then payment over time so that I could keep funding your search? And I guess no, and I just wanted to end it there.
No, and retract the and.
Ignore the and.
All right. What do you mean?
Well, in an ideal situation, I want to give you the 375, but I'm an investor and I need to be able to cash flow. So ideally, I'd give you some amount of down payment and then pay you in installments over time. So instead of you paying rent, you're receiving rent on this, or sorry, receiving a monthly amount on your payment, and then in addition to a down payment.
You're gonna pay me rent.
Sorry, I said that incorrectly. I'm going to give you a down payment, just like I would go down to the bank. But instead of giving the down payment to the bank, I would give it to you. I'd be upgrading you to my bank, and you'd be getting payments over time on the rest of the balance.
How much are you gonna give me down?
Well, I want you to be happy with the amount you got down. Do you have an idea of what that amount would be?
Yeah, I need half.
You need half. Ooh, that's a lot. So if you need half down, I might not be your buyer, especially in this market. Sorry, I froze again.
Don't be sorry. Be you. It's better.
Okay.
See, this is, I mean, no,
Yeah.
like this is why it's so hard to do a price battle with people.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Because it's just like this,
Mhm.
that. But if I know what he's actually trying to do, I can tell him how I'm going to solve his problem.
So could you model that or
Yeah.
kind of take it?
Sure. Let's go ahead. All right. You ready, Lance?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to talk to you all day. You're going to be here for like 2 hours just to listen to you. All right. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Lance? Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Lance. Who's this?
Hey, Lance. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can. Who is this?
This is Creighton. Hey, I was calling. Man, I think I saw an ad of yours on Craigslist. Is that yours about a house that you have?
Yeah,
I'm going to jump in just for a second before you continue. Guys, pull your phone out if you're on your computer and record this so you can listen to it again, so you can hear what Creighton's saying and you can edit it and write down notes if you want to, because it's going to be really smooth. Okay.
Maybe. No pressure.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. But go ahead. Get your phone out and record it. Go ahead.
I still have an engineer brain in me.
Yeah. That was my listing. What can I do for you, man?
Hey, I'm hoping to do something for you if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Awesome. So, hey, I saw this property and it looks pretty good. What's going on with it? How long have you been listing it here?
Well, Creighton, I've had it listed for about 30 days, 35 days right now. And I'm not too sure. I've gotten some offers. They haven't been close to what I've been asking for, but Yeah, it's in really good condition. I mean, the house is immaculate. I've taken really good care of it. It's been recently upgraded and stuff. But yeah, I'm not too sure why. I'm
Hmm.
just
And you said you got some other offers and they weren't in your ballpark. Like what kind of offers were you getting that just weren't acceptable to you?
dude, they were like around like 280, 290, and I'm sort of hoping to get the 375 I'm asking for. So, I know it's been on the market for a little bit, but I feel confident that I could get what I'm asking for.
Okay. So some offers at 280 just weren't even in the ballpark of letting you, being interested in selling. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And what would they need to come up to for you to, be ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I would at least need them to come up to about like 370, 370. Maybe I could do 365, but not I wouldn't want to go lower than that.
Gotcha. And what's 365 do for you? If I was to come in and give you 365 now, what would happen next?
Oh man, we'd be done with it. I'd sell the house to you.
Awesome. And then we'd meet for a beer, and then what would happen after that?
That sounds fantastic. We meet for a beer.
Let's
Yeah,
make it
man.
happen.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, after that, I'd take my stuff and move on.
Okay. And where are you moving on to?
Oh man, I want to head to North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm not too sure where, but I definitely want to head to North Carolina.
Okay. And what's the plan in North Carolina with a bag full of $360,000?
Well, I'm gonna rent for a little bit, find the area that I want to set up for, and buy my forever home.
Oh, okay. So North Carolina, do you have family? Is there ties there? Like, why is that where you want to go for forever?
Man, it's just a place that I visited, and it calls to my soul, man. So I'm
Ooh,
headed there.
internal. I
Yeah.
like that. Okay. So North Carolina is forever. And you have any idea like what kind of forever home costs in North Carolina? Because
I'm looking around like the 280, 285 mark right now.
okay.
That's sort of where my budget is. And so what I'm hoping to do is just pay all cash for it, and that way I don't have a mortgage or house payment or anything like that.
Gotcha. And on the existing house that you had listed, is there a mortgage on that one?
No, man, no, I own that outright.
Oh, awesome. Good for you. Okay. So traditionally, when you buy houses, do you get mortgages, or is that something that you just have never done before?
No, I've done it. I've done it, but now that I'm free and clear, I don't want to have to do it again. I'm like 65 years old. I'm ready just to enjoy life.
Okay, gotcha. Um, okay, so we want to get 375 out of this to go buy a 280. And I'm not that good at math here, Lance, but I think what you're looking for is more than your next forever home. Is that correct? You're looking for some money in your pocket?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to have a little, splash cash to
Ooh,
live off of.
I love that. What are you gonna do with the splash?
I might buy a fishing boat and maybe just, go out and fish a little bit and just, sit on the
Okay.
dock.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And how soon are you wanting to do that?
Yeah, I'd be loving doing it right now.
What's a good what do you fish for?
Yeah, I try to get some bass out there. Whatever's popping at the day, whatever's biting that day.
Okay. And when's the next good season? When's that coming
Oh,
up?
dude, that's coming up. I believe it's gonna be like September. It should be a good fish run.
Okay. So what if we set a goal to get you to North Carolina in September to start fishing out there, get you on a boat, get you some splash cash?
Dude, that'd be amazing, Creighton.
Awesome. Well, okay. And I know that you said you're pretty set and you really want to move out there to start fishing, but what happens, if you don't get your 375 or 365 that you're looking for on this? Are you willing to forego getting to North Carolina, building your forever house?
I'm willing to wait a little bit. I'm willing to wait a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not in a rush. I mean, I'd like to get there, Creighton,
Yeah,
but
I get you.
I do need
It has
some
to make
money
sense.
yeah, I need some money to get there.
Okay. And like, how long are you willing to wait? Because I'll talk to people and they'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. But then I'm like, okay, are you willing to wait a year? And they're like, no, I can't wait a year. Those fish are calling for me. I need to get over there and get them into my boat ASAP. So what's a realistic time that you're willing to wait?
I don't know. I really haven't put a time limit on it.
Okay. I mean, obviously you're okay because you've already waited 30 days. Like, what if you wait 90 more days and you still are only getting these 280 offers?
No, I'd wait another 9 days. I think where I'd like to be is I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I don't have a house payment.
Yeah,
I'm just sort of
you're not losing anything
No, I'm
at
not
all.
losing anything. So I mean, I'm okay with waiting maybe like another year or two, until maybe
Okay.
the housing market adjusts to where I can get my price.
And
But
what
yeah,
if it keeps going down? Because I mean, obviously you've been around for a while. You don't know what you've seen these cycles that we've been in. What if we're coming into like a 2008 scenario where, it might be 10 years before things kind of rebound? Or is that something that you're willing to wait on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to think
I'm not,
about that one.
and I'm only just bringing it up just, to make sure that you have all the pieces, or we have all the pieces together, to make an educated decision on what it is that you want to do. So let me ask you this. So, you're willing to wait at least a couple years. We're not sure, obviously, what the market's going to do. We're obviously hoping that it's going to go back up. But what would be your thoughts if I was able to come in, buy your house from you at your price, get you over to North Carolina, maybe give you a little bit of splash cash? But in order to do that, you would probably have to get a mortgage on the property that you're looking to get in North Carolina.
I'd really like to avoid the mortgage. I like that
I gotcha.
I'd like that you come to my purchase price though. But I'd really
Just
like
trying to help out.
Yeah, I'd really like to avoid the mortgage though. That's sort of where, I don't
Okay.
want to have to pay a mortgage payment,
I get you. I get you. I mean, you've already done that, played these games, you're at a point. But what if we were able to set it up where you actually didn't have to pay it?
What do you mean?
So what I mean by that is, what if I set it up that every single month I made your mortgage payment for you?
How would you do that?
Well, I'm magical. That's how. But what I would do, Lance, is I would come in and buy your house for your 360 that you're looking for. And I would help you with a down payment on a mortgage for your forever home in North Carolina. And then because I'm paying you that 360 for the house, I'd make you payments on that. And that payment that I would pay you would just go directly to your mortgage for your property in North Carolina. Does that make sense?
Let me repeat it back to you. You're going to give me a down payment for a mortgage, and then you're going to pay my monthly mortgage payment. So basically what you're telling me is I wouldn't have any payment.
Well, that's what you're telling me, but yeah, if that's what you want, I think I can do that for you.
I would need to see something, like I would need to see something in writing. Like I would want something I'm not very good at like listening and putting it all in my head. I would need something written down, just like
sure.
sort of see it and make sense of it.
No, that makes perfect sense. And if I was to write something down, like what specifically would you like to see?
I would want to know like what you're sort of proposing, like down payment, like what you're going to give me for the house, and then what you would give me, I guess what you would give me monthly for my mortgage payment. Because I don't even know what my mortgage payment is going to be a month.
Exactly. And that's why it's going to be hard for me to write all of that down. Does that make sense? I mean, we can talk about it, but can I give you a suggestion? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. So my suggestion is I would like you to start looking in North Carolina, start finding your forever home, whatever it is. Does that make sense? Can you do that for me?
Yes.
I want you to figure out what house you want. and then bring that back to me, and we can reverse engineer and be like, okay, if this house is this and you're going to put a down payment, then this is what your mortgage payment's going to be. And then we would see what that would look like from you letting me come in and buy your house and letting you get to North Carolina. Does that make sense?
It does.
Because rather than us just being like, oh, this is theoretical and this is whatever, like you're saying, I'm on the same page as you. I would want to see it visually and actually see real math rather than, oh, this is all just fictitious and made up theoretical nonsense. But if you want to go that route, we can do that. It's just, we might be wasting a couple months going back and forth.
No, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So when is a good time for us to get back on the phone? When do you want to start looking for what that looks like?
Dude, give me a few days. Let me start looking for the properties and stuff, and then I can get a little bit better of idea of what I'll be paying for a house. And if you could give me a call back in like maybe 3 to 4 days and just sort of check in and see where I'm at, that'd be great.
Okay, and I just want to check in. So if we're able to come up with a way for me to give you the full purchase price you're looking for the house, about $360, find a way for you to get into your forever home in North Carolina where I'm actually helping you with the down payment and making your monthly payments, that's something that you're interested in moving forward on?
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in that.
Okay, perfect. So let's do that. I'll call you back in 4 days. And Lance, if I call you back in 4 days and I'm not able to get a hold of you, do I have your permission to text you and leave you some voicemails? Because I know you can get busy and I might be busy. So I just don't want us to miss each other.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead, start looking up your properties and I'll reach back to you in a couple of days and then we can go from there. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
I can't wait, Lance. We'll see you out on that boat in a couple of months, man.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Lance. Have a good one. See ya. All right. What do you think, TJ? Do you see how it was different? Like what did I ever talk about price? Like, who cares? I need to know what he wants.
Yeah, you did like you did this like judo move where you were not talking about it, and then you're like past it. I was so smooth. I even missed like how you got from,
because they don't care.
Yeah.
If you talk about this nonsense, that's what they're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like if I talk about money, then they're going to talk about money. But if I talk about solving I have a leg up because I read so much in psychology and all this other stuff, like pretty good at manipulating people, I'll say. So like, I know nothing is about material things. Everything is about emotions. Like that's what I want to feed people. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm always trying to get to the root of. So he wants to go fishing. So like I'm telling, and do you know why I'm doing all those things? Like I'm getting him to think about what it's going to be like to go. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to pay his mortgage or all this other stuff, but I want him to start looking at these other houses and get him excited and remind him why he's willing to make this work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even,
that's great.
And he didn't even know all this stuff yet. So there's no way, like I couldn't even come up with a price because he wasn't even like, he didn't have what his ideal scenario was yet. So the only way you could close someone like him where he was at is by saying, okay, I'll give you 375 or whatever.
Yeah. But then instead of talking about price, you talked about, the end goal, which was the house he wanted to move into eventually and to start looking for that.
Yeah.
And then you ended with several upfront contracts. Like if I can do this, can you do this?
Yes.
Can I call you?
Look, I'm so glad you noticed that. Did everybody else notice how many upfront contracts Creighton had?
It was like 3 at the end. And he was like, yes, yeah, like just like a pattern of yes, yes, yes. And like the next thing he's gonna say is almost certainly gonna be a yes. You got him to say yes 3 times before the end of the call.
And I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Yeah. Can I follow up? Can I text? Can I voicemail? Can I do this?
And I just did that for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Hey, I see that Jeff Smith is in here. I don't know why his hand is raised, but Jeff Smith is our Monday closer. Jeff, what did you think of that call?
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't spoken up because I've been a little under the weather this morning. But
oh, no.
Anyway, yeah, Creighton, like that was all. Like everybody, like the reason Creighton's not worried about like property condition and all this other stuff is because Lance does not have enough motivation yet. It's not strong enough to take action. It's kind of this, I'd love to go fishing. How cool would that be? But I can wait like 4 years. So it's premature to start talking specific pricing and stuff when Lance doesn't even know what the hell he needs. He doesn't,
100%.
right? That's what Creighton's setting him up for, like build up the motivation of the opportunity to be had. And then once Lance gets excited about it, it's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to go to North Carolina. Now Creighton can jump in and have a real conversation with him.
100%.
So it's teeing it up. So that was awesome.
Thanks. But yeah, 100%. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares if we go about condition? Let's say that I get condition up front and then I realize there's no way I can solve this problem. I just wasted both of our time. So I want to figure out how I can solve their problem first. And then I go into the weeds about, oh, okay, what's the condition? Then I'll get into about price and all this stuff. But again, like I was saying, I have to figure out what is the thing that I'm going to sell them at the end. And I hope you guys see that with Lance. I wasn't selling him on the price. I was selling him ability to get to North Carolina, ability to go fishing. Like that's what I'm selling him. Oh, you're muted. Just a sec, TJ. But so what happened is he'll get all this stuff. We'll have a follow-up, all that. And then while I'm doing that, I will probably find maybe a little bit more about condition. Like mine's pretty basic, but like anytime I get in contract, like I go see the property and I'll ask them, assuming that this property is in great condition, all that, and everything you're telling me is true, then, this price should be good. However, Lance, if I go to the property and realize there's a hole in the roof or something like that, I'm going to have to adjust the price. Does that make sense? Can you agree that, if I was selling you something and it's not what you thought it was going to be, that the price should be adjusted? Again, I get that agreement up front with them. So then I go look at the property and be like, oh my gosh, Lance, like this, and this.
So I'm going to jump in because Bruce, anybody find value out of listening to Creighton, our closer, do a role play? Brian's giving me a head nod. Max is okay. Cool. Lance, thank you for being a realistic seller. God,
Dude,
that was a great one to work.
That was money.
This is
Now,
something
say,
I'm
if
going
we want to listen to this again in the Zoom vault.
I just wanted Lance to keep talking.
I want to throw this up here. Guys, if we want this to get into the Zoom vault, I need to bring this up because I know there's new people in here. Not every single daily dial gets into the Zoom vault because we do it every day. Now, to get a Zoom in the Zoom vault from the daily dial, we have to have 20. There's over 130 people in the Zoom.
It'd be pretty easy.
We need to get, just 25 people sharing what they learned. You can't just say, oh my gosh, it was so good. You got to say what you learned. So TJ, you might say, it was incredible hearing Creighton have so many upfront contracts at the end of the phone call, setting expectations. I didn't know that you could use more than one upfront contract in a call. Zoom user just said, great call on how to direct the conversation to his motivation. Exactly right, Zoom user. Please put your first and last name on there. All right. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Creighton. But guys, I just want to say, if we want this in the Zoom vault, we just need 25 posts saying what you learned. Creighton, the floor is yours again.
Yeah, that's only like a fifth of you guys. Like, this should be so easy to do that. So, but for some reason you guys don't. And I get it, because I remember being in stuff like, oh, I don't need to, whatever. But show up as a person that you want to be, and you're going to become someone totally different.
Yeah, somebody else is going to make the post. I don't need to. You know what? Right. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll start tomorrow. You know what? I'm going to start on Monday. On Monday's when I'm going to start. Honestly, guys, you know what? That actually fires me up. Because I've been Creighton, I don't know if you know this, I do the newbie Zoom today at noon. And I say it at least 10 times in the newbie Zoom. I tell them
I want to go
and get
to
a
one of
refund
those.
You should come in today. I'll text you.
Is it every day? Every day at noon?
It's every every Thursday. But I tell them at least 10 times in that Zoom, if you're not going to work on yourself and you're not going to be comfortable getting uncomfortable, you should go get a refund. You shouldn't be a part of this community. And if you're not going to work on yourself and you're just going to sit in the sidelines, guys, and you're not going to turn your camera on in a Zoom, and I say that because I'm being dangerous at the moment. You're not going to put your camera on in a Zoom and you're not going to try, you're just going to sit and consume. Go get a refund. You're not going to get anything out of this mentorship. You're not going to get anything out of this life if you're not willing to be uncomfortable. So I'm sorry if I pushed a button there.
2 people left the Zoom. Like, I'm gonna go get my refund. But for those of you that are still on here,
Hi, I heard I could get a
apply
refund.
yourself. Like, you know what? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do it within the first day, you know, whatever, first week, I don't know the exact. I don't work in the sales department for sub 2. I'm the Zoom girl. But guys, I say this because I want you to win. I want you to be able to do deals with Creighton. I want you to be able to do deals with me. I want you guys to be able to get out of your freaking W-2 and have freedom. Like, when Max gets an opportunity to talk, he's going to tell you last year he quit his job and he went all in on investing, and he tripled his yearly income by getting into investing and going all in, guys. So don't half-ass this. Really apply yourself. All right. Anyways, I got really excited there and hyped up. So if you're going to be one of those people that says tomorrow or on Monday, get out of the Zoom. You're not even taking notes. I know you're not taking notes. You're not even applying yourself. Come on now. All right, Creighton, I'm done.
I'm done. Mike, boom. I'm out, bitches. So I was just gonna say, these people like share, Coral, like there's almost probably like 20 people that have already said that, you know, they got value from that. So just copy and paste your thing, add a little bit more, and go put it in Facebook. Anyways, no, I mean, literally, like, I love doing closing calls like that, but I always want to provide more value and coach people. So normally I don't come up here and actually show you guys that I actually know what I'm talking about. So I'm happy to.
I can't help it. I had to jump in one more time. Guys, Creighton volunteers his time. He doesn't have to be in here. Go be kind to him and go follow him on YouTube. Go say something on one of his videos. Be freaking nice. And if you ever want to get extra time from Creighton, don't just be like, hey, can I take you out for coffee? Go be his #1 fan on social media and let him notice you. And that is how you get, like, if you guys do that for me, that's how you get my attention. That's actually what Pace talked about in the most recent mastermind. Vina Jetty started being really kind to Pace and getting his attention. And that's why he worked with her and partnered up with her. Don't just say, what can I get from this person? Go give so much value and give them so much love and affection they can't ignore you. Don't get creepy though, okay? Don't get weird and like ask another social security number or anything. But go be kind and like gas them up and share their content and tell them like what you learned from it and be engaging, okay? Creighton, what is your IG? Can you actually throw your information in the side chat for everybody really quickly? And can you share your screen so we can see it? And then I'll let you get back to the rest of these role plays. But guys, this is how you get to do deals and closures. This is how you partner up with other people when you're brand new and you don't know what you're doing. Creighton, share your information. I want to be able to follow you.
There you go.
The microphone is yours again. I'm sorry. I just keep getting hyped up.
There you go. But yeah, go definitely hit, if all of them go, if you are too busy to do both, go follow me on YouTube. I want to try to get my YouTube up to 1,000 people. I post all my shorts. I try to do some mindset stuff on there. So any of you that are stuck in your head, go jump on my YouTube, because that's where I'm posting stuff. And send me a message, say, hey, Creighton, I'm having an issue with this. Can you talk about it? Like, all I would love to do is share all the information and knowledge I have with more people, because I wish someone was able to help me when I was so depressed and I had money and thought life sucked. Okay. TJ, you good then? Do you have some stuff with that?
Just want to end with appreciation and gratefulness. That was so amazing, and more than I could have asked for, and I really appreciate you sharing and donating your time. And, I feel I'm not the only one. So thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for putting yourself out there. Cause I know when I started, I was so wrapped up in my head. So for all you are like, oh my gosh, Creighton's crazy and so good and all that, like, I wasn't always that way. Like when I started, I was so afraid to put cause obviously as an engineer, like, I don't know how to fail. Like, I'm not supposed to fail. Everything has to be perfect, all this. So I wouldn't raise my hand. I wouldn't put myself out there. And all it did is just, instead of getting as good as I am so much faster, it took me like a year or so of just watching and all this. But what I wish I would have done is just embrace the failure, embrace the chaos, and just jumped in exactly like TJ's doing. So love it, brother. Thank you.